Hello friends, welcome to Physics Live channel. Today we are going to discuss the problems in quantum mechanics. A 45 kilowatt broadcasting antenna emits radio waves at a frequency of 4 MHz. How many photons are emitted per second? Is the quantum nature of the electromagnetic radiation important in analyzing the radiation emitted from this antenna? So we know that here the energy of the radio wave, that energy it's equal to nh nu, and here that is given as 45,000, that is 45 kilowatt, and E is equal to nh nu. You know that N is equal to E by h nu. So h is Planck's constant, that is 6.626 into 10 raised to minus 34, and frequency nu is 4 megahertz, that is 4 into 10 raised to 6, and we get the answer as 1.7 into 10 raised to 31 photons are emitted. Okay, so the number of photons are huge emit, so there is a quantum nature that is unimportant, okay, for this system. Okay, second question, consider a mass spring system where a 4 kilogram mass is attached to a massless spring of constant k is equal to 196 Newton per meter. The system is set to oscillate on a frictionless horizontal table. The mass is pulled 25 cm away from the equilibrium position and then released. Use classical mechanics to find the total energy and frequency of oscillations of the system. Treating the oscillator with the quantum theory and find the energy spacing between two consecutive energy levels and the total number of quanta involved are the quantum effects importance in the system. You know that in usual the reference books questions are more descriptive type. Okay, so the answer is very simple. So first the question, that is you have to find the energy in terms of classical basis. Okay, so the total energy due to classical mechanics, you know that E is equal to half ka square. A means the amplitude. So here we know that they are stretched to 25 centimeters or 0.25 square, and k is the spring constant, that is 196, and we get the energy as total energy as 6.125 joule. You know how to get the equation like this. You know the energy, the potential energy of a oscillator, that is equal to half kx square, and at extreme position the kinetic energy will change to the potential energy. So we can substitute x in terms of amplitude, so we get the total energy from the potential energy. Okay, and you know the frequency of the spring, that is an oscillator, that is 1 by 2 pi under root k by m, that is 1 by 2 pi under root k is given, that is 196 by 4, and we get the frequency as 1.11 hertz. Second question, we have to find the energy spacing between two consecutive energy levels with respect to quantum mechanics. We know that the energy between two consecutive levels, that is equal to h nu. H, you know that 6.626 into 10 raised to minus 36, and nu is 1.11 hertz. It's get from here, and we get the answer as 7.4 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule approximately. And they want to find the total number of quanta, that is n is equal to E divided by delta E. So we get the quantum as 8.3 into 10 raised to 33. So the quanta is very large, so the energy levels of the oscillator is continuous, so it is cannot be feasible to measure classically, and quantum effects are present. You know that the classical systems have the energies are discrete and quantum energy levels are continuous. That is typical difference between these two concepts, that is classical and quantum. In quantum levels the energies are continuous and we cannot measure the energies differently. So quantum effects are very important for this system. Okay, next question, that is when a light of a given wavelength is incident on a metallic surface, the stopping potential for the photoelectrons is 3.2 volt. If a second light source whose wavelength is double that of the first is used, the stopping potential drops to 0.8 volt. From this data, calculate a wavelength of the fast radiation and the work function and the cutoff frequency of the metal. The basic equation for this is the problem from photoelectric effect. Okay, so the basic equation, that is EV, that's equal to h nu minus W, where W is the work function. That is the minimum energy wanted to eject a electron, and h nu is the energy, and EV is the electrovolt, that is the stopping potential. Volt is the stopping potential. This is actual EV is equal to the actual kinetic energy. So we can find the stopping potential V1 is equal to, here h nu is equal to C by lambda, hc by E lambda 1 minus W by E. Okay, V2 is equal to hc by E lambda 2 minus W by E. But in the question they told about that the second photon has the wavelength is twice of the first, that is 2 lambda 1, and from that V1 minus V2, that is 3.2 minus 0.8, 2.4 is equal to, we get the equation from this equations, that is by cancelling the equal terms we get hc by 2e lambda 1, and substitute hc and 2e lambda 1 we get from that equation, that is 2.6 into 10 raised to minus 7 meter. Second question, we have to find the work function for the metal. So we get we can substitute the lambda 1 in this equation, and we get W is equal to E into V1 minus 2V2 is equal to 1.6 voltage. This equation by here from only, because we want to find the work function. Okay, so here to get work function we can multiply with the V2 with the 2, so we get the V1 and V2 as similar, and after V2 2V2 minus V1 minus 2V2 into E will give you W. Just solving from these two equations, so we get the work function and cutoff frequency, that is cutoff frequency that's equal to nu is equal to work function divided by h. So we get the cutoff frequency that's equal to 3.9 into 10 raised to 14 hertz. Okay, very simple question, but it is very conceptful question, that is we should have a very good understanding in photoelectric effect. Next question, that is estimate the energy of the electrons that we need to use in electron microscope to resolve the separation of 0.27 nanometer. First, in a scattering of 2 electron volt protons from a crystal, the fifth maximum of the intensity is observed at an angle of 30 degree. Estimate the crystal's planar separation. So first of all, we have to find the energy of the electron we need to use in electron microscope to resolve the separation of 0.27 nanometer. So we know that energy, the kinetic energy, that's equal to P square by 2me. So from that, P is the, from de Broglie wavelength lambda is equal to h by P. We can represent it in terms of h cut, 2 pi h cut by P, and you know that h cut is equal to h by 2 pi. From that, here we get h is equal to h 2 pi h cut, and from that P is equal to 2 pi h cut by lambda, and we substitute P square in the kinetic energy expression from the de Broglie momentum, and we multiply with the C square, because h cut C we have the correct value, that is for simplification of the calculation, that is 197.33 into 10 raised to 15 mega electron volt, and also we can substitute MEC square as rest mass energy of the electron, that is equal to 0.511 MeV. So substitute these values, we get the kinetic energy of the electron we need to use in the microscope, because we substitute lambda as 0.27 nanometer, because we need to resolve the separation of that length, that is 0.27 into 10 raised to minus 9. Just the basic equations we used. Okay, next we have to find the scattering of 2 electron volt protons from a crystal. The fifth maximum of the intensity is observed at an angle 30 degree. Estimate the crystal's planar separation means we have to use the Bragg's equation, that is n lambda is equal to 2d sin theta. That is, from that we can find the crystal's planar separation d. Okay. So we know that energy is equal to p square by 2 mp, where p square is equal to mpe, and from that we can calculate lambda. Okay, so here in this question they told about, that is the maximum is fifth maximum, and also we have to get from the, that is we get the information of theta, that is 30 degree, and we have to find d. Okay, so we substitute lambda from de Broglie. So de Broglie and equating with energy p square by 2 mp, and just cross multiplying, we get lambda square is equal to like this, and we can represent in terms of h squared, and also we can substitute mpc square, that is rest mass energy of the proton, that is 938.27 mega electron volt. And after substituting these values we get lambda, or otherwise we can simplify here only, and we get the d as 0.101 nanometer. Just we used to find the crystal planar distance separation, we use the Bragg's equation, and they told about the order and also angle, and here we have to substitute lambda. This lambda is get from the de Broglie wavelength. Here in this we have to substitute momentum. This momentum, which in terms of energy you know that 2 mpe. Okay, and substitute all the values. You know mp is the value multiplication is very difficult, so mpc square, so we substitute mpc square. To substitute mpc square, we multiply c square from c square in numerator and denominator, and we substitute mpc square as 938.27 mega electron volt. Some just simplification did, and we get the answer very simply, that is 0.101 nanometer. Okay, thank you for watching.